Why are we flying back to Flying Fish?
Princess Bear, here today we find ourselves at Disney's BoardWalk Inn Resort because it's time to go back to the place where fishes fly.
Yes, Flying Fish has updated their menu yet again in competition with Le Cellier for the number of menu changes each year, and we are excited to try it.
Yes, because your number one choice of foodie of entertainment. We're here to try all the flying food so you don't have to because she's vegan. I'm not. We're just going to climb a tree and wait for her to finish.
It's time to foodie and chill.
So Disney's BoardWalk Inn actually connects to Disney's Boardwalk. We always felt it doesn't get enough love right here at the International Gateway exit of Epcot. So you have things to do back here. That's where Cake Bake Shop lives. If you guys ever wondered, Blue Ribbon Corn Dogs is back here. Jelly Rolls was back here. It's currently closed and being refurbed, but there are things coming here. So we feel like we're going to be coming here a lot more in the next year and a half as things open and things change. And we like it to change.
Our friend, the seaweed bread, is back. Actually, not seaweed bread, just, potato bread. That's right, potato bread. Potato and chive, there's a baby amount in here. This bread is piping hot, and unfortunately, they do not have earth balance at the Signature Dining Restaurant, highlighting Signature Dining Restaurant, but they did give me balsamic and oil. I do like more balsamic than oil, but I appreciate our servers' efforts. Our server is awesome, by the way. Cheers. That is beautiful, fresh, hot bread. The crust is a little overcooked, but nothing another bread wouldn't solve. I love it. It's delicious, and I'm gonna get more. It is a 5 out of 5 breads. There's a reason why it's in our top 10 bread service video. It's amazing.
Friends, colleagues, they and then and them. Maybe not colleagues. Do I mean colleagues? We just got off work. Don't judge me. We love a good bread service. And bread service is like setting the stage for a meal. It's like putting the tablecloth on, lighting a candle. Like, I know you see bread as a throwaway. It's like that thing you fill up on before your appetizers get here. But like, the bread service is very important. If I have bad bread, it's going to ruin the whole mood. So the fact that they have like a nice house whipped butter with a little bit of chive in it and salt, wonderful. We love the bread here. We love the atmosphere here. And potato and chive, well, that speaks to me as a bear. Glorious crusty bread, nice, warm, fresh. Hot piping bread is the key. I want to feel enveloped, hugged, warmed by the bread. This makes me feel at home, gets me relaxed, lets me release the stress of both the day, be it like a work day or a long stressful day in the park chasing down lightning lanes, if that was something that we ever did, and we don't, because we don't do lightning lanes all that much. Every now and then, but we don't. But I need something to de-stress me and get me in the mood to consume food, and a good bread service will always do that. This has always been top tier, the whipped butter, the bread on its own. You really can't go wrong with the bread here. I have no complaints, only praises. In this case, 4.75 out of 5 plus. So to appetize my appetite, I decided to go with the steamed mussels. Now, I have had these before, one of our other visits this year, but the server talked it up so much that I was tempted to try it again. I honestly don't remember how I felt about it last time. If only I had a video to reference how I felt about it. Like, it would be that easy. But they are steamed mussels in a tonkotsu broth, so ramen style, with like a sweet sausage and then a black garlic aioli with some bread here to serve with. And they did give me a little bowl for my shells. Always interesting. And, he talked me into the mussels. Most of my problem with mussels at a restaurant, the same problem I have with the clams or anything else, is that I don't frequently feel that the amount of work it takes to get the mussels out of their shells is usually worth it. Sometimes it is. But a lot of times I feel like it's more work than it's worth. Today, we're going to try something a little bit different. We're going to take the bread. I'm going to take some of the black garlic aioli they have here. I'm going to spread that on there, like making a little sandwich. And then I'm going to place said mussel and sweet sausage on the bread, as one is expected to eat it, as I get messy. Sometimes you get messy to have good things. There we go. What holds true for a ramen bowl or an udon bowl or any sort of soup or any such bowl that depends on broth for its flavoring remains true for this dish. If the broth is trash, the bowl is trash. Now, they said tonkotsu broth. They were not kidding. That is a flavorful, complex, layered broth that any ramen would be honored to take a bath in. I would take a bath in it if the bowl was big enough. The sweet sausage with the mussels, this is a very interesting taste. You get like that deep, that savory sausage flavor, that light briny flavor of the mussel in the broth, and then you have the black garlic Aïoli tied all together. It's a very rich dish. It feels like it was made for a king, like a Triton or Sebastian when he had the band. I quite like it. It was not a bad recommendation. It was actually quite a good one. I would give that 4.75 out of 5 claws. It is a little bit of work, but sometimes to have good things, you gotta put in a little bit of work. A little grind, if you will.
I love that every time that I come here to Flying Fish, even though it's only been like a month or a month and a half since we've been here, the gazpacho has changed. I'm so here for that. So last time that we were here, it was a melon, like a honeydew melon gazpacho. Now it is a watermelon gazpacho. Yeah, Bear's gonna hate this and I'm gonna love it. So let me I'm just going to get a little bit of gazpacho here with some of these shaved fruits. There we go. I'm going to leave the innards for later. To a beautiful gazpacho, may you be equal to Pepe or Jaleo by Jose Andres. Surprisingly, it has more of a kick to it than majority of the gazpachos that I have had. There's like a good little like pepper action in there. The watermelon is really subtle. Most of it you're just getting like a burst of spice. If you have an aversion to spice, I would say do not order this, at least this iteration. Maybe next month it'll be different, but like this one is a little bit spicy. Maybe it's the pickle veggie, I'm not sure. It's still delicious though. I'm gonna give it a 2.75 out of 5 gazpacho. It's of all the gazpacho versions that I've had here, strawberry, melon, etc. This is probably on the bottom of the list. Though still tasty and presentation is amazing, it is what it is.
I am no better than a child sometimes, and I'm willing to admit that about myself. I consider myself to be an adventurous eater. There is very little in this world that I won't eat. If you tell me it tastes good, and even sometimes when you tell me it tastes bad, I'll still eat it anyway. But for the things that I do hate, and there are a few in the world, watermelon being so high up on that list, the best way to get me to eat it is to always put it in things that I know that I will eat. It's like gazpacho, sushi for instance. All of these things have been tried. And alcohol, always a good way to get me to eat watermelon. So watermelon gazpacho, why scary to me, I treat that with a little bit of interest because you know what? I'm still begging the world for a gazpacho subscription box. I want gazpacho ingredients delivered to my door. We don't usually mess with like food delivery services. We both cook. We know our way around a grocery store and a kitchen. So we don't usually need things delivered. But if you deliver gazpacho to my house, every week. Now, the honeydew melon gazpacho that we had here set a high bar because I love honeydew, and that was one of the most interesting gazpachos we've had. A lot of character, a lot of flavor. Watermelon, again, not my favorite fruit, but honestly, I quite like the character of the watermelon, that lightness to it, what it adds to the actual like root vegetables and everything else here in the gazpacho. Because for me, a lot of what I don't like about watermelon is the texture. And since this is already pureed, it's more the flavor combined with everything else that sort of shines through. Not my favorite that I've had here, but still very challenging and delicious. Again, we don't do sponsored videos on this channel. Not that we wouldn't. We're all about things that align with the things that we do. We're not just going to accept any sponsorship, and we get some weird ones that make no sense in our inbox and our business email sometimes. And we've been hosted for a couple events because we like doing fun and new things. I can't say that if somebody didn't offer me some sort of Gazpacho sponsorship that I wouldn't take that. Not because I'm a shill, but because I like foodie adventures. This to me is an adventure, even if I don't absolutely fall in love with it. I appreciate that I got the experience. That's a lot of things about being a foodie, the experience. 3.75 out of 5 stars.
I'm not sure if today is supposed to be a happy day or a sad day. My beautiful galette is now gone, and we have replaced it with a squash with a Japanese eggplant in a beautiful tofu cream on the bottom. It's giving me like a reminiscence. Oh, and there's some chili in here too. It's giving me like ratatouille, and also something so elevated from back in the day, like pre-Pandy. They used to have their own vegan menu here, and it was so basic. Like, it was like a block of tofu. It was like $50 or something. And like a few other like veggie things. This is like so elevated. This is equal to a deluxe, or I should say a signature dining restaurant. I'm excited to try this, even though I'm really going to miss my galette. I really love the tofu cream. I love the cut on the vegetables. Those are gorgeous. I think if you have an aversion to spice, you're not going to want this. You're going to want to order it without the chili flakes, because the chili flakes do really make it spicy. Like for me, it's like it's between like a 4 and a 6 on a heat scale. The heat comes at you at the beginning and then really backs off at the end. So it's really just that initial bite. I'm not going to be sweating eating this or anything like that, but you are going to feel it. So just fair warning for those who think like pepper is spicy, like you don't want the chili flakes. But other than that, the tofu is really creamy. Like I said, the vegetables are cut, executed perfectly. The little garnish on the top is like from the galette, so I love that. These little like balls, these are from the galette, and I love those. I do wish that we still had the rice, or maybe just have this on top of the galette with all of this. I would appreciate that. I really want like a little rice or a starch of some sort. This is just vegetables and a tofu cream. So like it's not serving appetizer or entree to me. It's like appetizer. I feel like the vegans might be getting slightly shortchanged in this situation. I think if you want like a filling dinner, you might also want to get a side, like a side of carrots. The carrots here are fab. So are the asparagus, but like the carrots are fab. So yeah, you're just gonna need a little bit more. Thankfully, we have tons of leftovers at home, so I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna give this a 3.5 out of 5 entrees. I would say, I can't remember what was before the galette. Do you remember, Bear? The galette's been on the menu for so many years. It's hard to remember what was prior to it. It's not like Le Cellier. The tofu block was like 2018.
Order at one point in time.
I don't remember, but regardless, this is probably the smallest in the portion sizes, and I think they need to reevaluate this dish a little bit more. It needs a little bit more imagining.
So, oven roasted squash and Japanese eggplant. I can sort of see the analog to ratatouille, since it's cut into like circular slices, like mandolin style, and then you have like the soy sauce that's on here, and then you have also a chili crunch. I feel like chili crunch has been working into a lot of the Princess's food lately, and I will say, as a chili crunch fan, the chili crunch is not for everybody. When you love it, you love it. But when you hate it, well, it's just not your vibe. I can smell the chili crunch coming off of this, so already I can tell this baby's going to have a little bit of kick to it. Like seahorse kick, not like, I don't know, Pegasus kick. I consider myself to be a spice lord. It doesn't come with any official title. I don't claim any lands. I don't even get a castle. There's no crown. There's no trophy. It's just a recognition that I see a love of spice in other such spice-enabled peoples. This is a spicy dish. Even for chili crunch, that's way up. It went from like, if you get like part of the dish that has like no spice on it, it's a normal dish. But the second you get the chili crunch, I'm at like a 6 or a 7 right now. I can feel it literally in my throat and my ears. Like, it is spicy. She couldn't resist. That is a very spicy dish. And while I love the plating, I love the like tofu cream, I love the Japanese squash and the eggplant, because Japanese vegetables, even though of the same like family, have a much different flavor profile than like what are normal English veggies. So I love that, but I have to agree with the princess, and then this is an appetizer size portion. Even for signature dining, the portion sizes here have gone up and down. The galette was like medium sized. The princess has got like almost a whole 2/3 block of tofu in here before, half a cauliflower. So it's been all over the place. This one, it needs to be a little bit resized or have some more things added to it to fill out the heartiness of it. And definitely the spice turned down. Me, I love spice. Like, I have a spice high right now. I can fly around this room. But for most people, I feel like this is going to be intolerantly spicy. And that's not something I usually say about a dish of fine dining at Disney. I like this, but I feel like most people are going to hate this change. I'm going to go with 3.75 out of 5 claws. It's not bad. I would call it challenging. Challenging. Continuing the trend that got me into this mess, it was Disney that got me hooked on duck. I had not encountered or even attempted to try duck as far as the protein in my food before then. Probably a little weird being a Floridian, not born and raised, born but not raised here. Not eating duck until I was of a nice ripe bear age is probably a little strange. But this is their brand new pan-seared duck, huge portions of duck here, a parsnip puree. You have this jus here, and then some like walnut granola here on the sides, and compressed apple. All the things that you'd see with duck with like its sweet accompaniments, but this is nice. Just cut into the duck here. They told me I didn't need the knife, and I think they're correct. It's nice and tender. I'm gonna try it by itself first. Get a little of that canard fava. Ooh, okay. Very nice skin on it. Deep savory flavor, that like light gaminess that you come to expect of like a duck or a fowl, like a pheasant or something like that, like those light flavors. Definitely well seasoned. I would give that a 3.75 out of 5 claws. Now, I really want to go all in on everything else because the parsnip, the jus, the granola, and the compressed apple are all integral parts of this dish. They're going for fall flavors. This is recently reimagined. They've had duck on the menu before. So getting all of these things in here, the walnut, the parsnip, even a little bit of the puree in here, that is a full flavored duck. A duck with all the trappings. A nice 3-piece suit with tails. Of course with tails. I love the sweetness that the jus and the parsnip provide to the duck. It helps level out that gaminess. And at that point, I really do feel like fall flavor is like one of the fields from Bambi, but without the heightening music that makes you fear for your life at every change of the beat. Like that kind of scenic thing. Like maybe like the April shower song Without the Rain that I sing around the house all the time and annoy the princess with. I really do sing that song a lot. I'm not even remotely ashamed of that. But it's good duck. Best duck I've ever had? No. But I like the combination with the fall flavors. And it's very interesting. I feel like I've been given wings. I would give this one a solid 4 out of 5 claws. I'm glad I got it, but I think I'd probably go with fish if I were to come here and get it with on the menu. I've been thinking to myself, we eat a lot of different things here, but running into similar proteins, happens. Recently went to Hollywood Brown Derby, and I did have a duck pappardelle, like a duck pasta with flat noodles with super savory duck. I would never repeat this in open company, even though you guys can rewind this video, repeat this, and then shame me with it later. I think the duck pasta was a better dish. And comparing Hollywood Brown Derby to Flying Fish, that's enough to give a man a heart attack, because they are not on the same level of restaurant. But I think for some reason, just the character of that dish, a little bit more unique and a little bit better than this. Good, but not that good. It's very easy to come to Walt Disney World and be a creature of habit. There are so many things here, so many traditions per restaurant, per park, per resort area, that it's like, you know what? This thing has been on the menu for 30 years, 20 years, 15 years. I want that every single time. The privilege of being us that live in proximity to Disney is that we can come here after work, like today. So a lot of times we're challenging ourselves to try something new, to expand beyond the things that would be our favorites. One, because we like an adventure, foodie-wise, and two, to show that to you guys. So this gin and tonic, and I don't normally order gin and tonic. You guys have been here for a while. I'm a whiskey bear. I do whiskey, I do rum, I do dark liquors. I don't mess with the clear stuff every now and then, but this is a hickory-mellowed gin. So hickory-infused gin with an elderflower liqueur, a little lime here. It looks like tap water. Let's see. Ooh la la. The world of gin and tonics remains completely foreign to me, but after trying mini gin drinks at like Coronado and Dahlia Lounge, I feel like I need to dip more than just a couple of toes in, maybe up to like a knuckle or two in that pond, because this is delicious looking swamp water. 4.25 out of 5 stars. I'm definitely flying after the princess's dish because the spice high.
Spicy.
Ooh, my mouth is on fire. I feel like baby Godzilla at this point.
Thank you to everyone that stopped us and said hi to us and chatted with us today. We had a lot of amazing people that we got to chat with.
Yeah, from the community. It's always great to run into you guys. Special shout out to K-Bear.
K-Bear.
K-Bear. It was very nice
Bear.
talking to you and your partner. Everybody that stopped us in the restaurant on the way out, it was very, very sweet.
It was awesome.
I wish we had more time to talk to you. We felt like blocking the aisle away, but it was very, very nice to talk to all of you.
Yes, and the food was amazing. I love the new Gazpacho. I'm excited to see what the next seasonal one is. The entree, and I did give our server the feedback to give to the chef. My entree was a lot smaller than previous ones. I feel it did feel like an appetizer, and then if you have an aversion to spice,
I would avoid.
It's gonna be spicy. There is like a tofu cream on the bottom, and that is supposed to be like your neutral. So you pull the cream, and then you eat each bite. So then it's supposed to like cool it down. And Chef David does the same thing with the Creole lentils over at Boatwright's.
Yeah.
So I already knew to do that, and even pulling the tofu cream, it was still really spicy. So I just don't think that if you have a problem with spice that you should even be trying that dish whatsoever, and maybe just try to get something else.
Yes. But I like to change the menu. I like to change things up for fall. Flying Fish is one of those restaurants that definitely does a lot for that sort of thing. The duck was good. I definitely thought it was like a bigger portion I normally see for duck. I sold on the fall flavors, though not my most favorite piece of duck. I like the parsnip puree. I like the fixins. It just felt like it needed more Flying Fish and less of everything else.
And as far as dessert goes, we didn't get dessert this time because we got it last month, and it was the same. Bear got the chocolate, I had the pineapple, and then previous to that, there was the lemonade dessert. So none of the desserts changed, and so we just didn't partake.
Yes. But we know what you guys think. As always, the place to find us will be the comments here below. If there's anything else you can see us do, that will always be the place to find us. Hit that notification bell if you want to see other videos like this. And
we have new videos 5 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday.
we'll see you soon.
Be sure to subscribe and like this video. And if you don't comment, will Bear even go to Food and Wine, or will he just skip it and you guys will just not have any videos at all?
I feel like I don't have a choice, but if I'm given the option, I'm probably not scared of it. But you heard the girl.
You know, I see a lot of well faces again. Hands on hips.
And we still have one teenager who embarrassed enough to leave, so we have to try harder.
Congratulations! You made it to the Across the BoardWalk review location. Now that you're here, we would like to know, what is your favorite resort around the Epcot resort area? Is it Swalfin? Is it yacht? Is it beach? Is it boardwalk? Or is it none of the above and you're just gonna skyliner somewhere else or bus somewhere else? We wanna know in the comments, so please tell us via text or emoji. However you wanna express yourself. Do it, and we love you.